Hey guys, how's it going today? My name is Slam Fox, and today I wanted to give you what you've all been waiting for. Everyone's been wondering since the discovery of Necramechs, where are the Necramechs? How do I get my own Necramech? What's the fastest way to do this? This video is not going to be about the Necramech standing, instead it'll just be about the Necramech locations and the fastest way to farm out the parts. So when you go into the open world in Diemos, there are Necramechs just sitting on the ground. There are 7 spawns, and there is a 100% spawn chance. These Necramechs are unpiloted during the yellow phase, which I believe is FOSS. So as long as FOSS is active, these Necramechs are just out there in the world, unpiloted, and you can use them to get parts very quickly and easily. This is a very fast and consistent farm, and with it you should be able to get all the Necramech parts that you need, probably within a couple hours. Right now the drop chance is really low, frustratingly so, but if you just follow this guide and you farm it out, you will be able to get the pieces that you need. The pieces that I'm talking about, one of them I get right here, is the damaged Necramech casing. The pieces we are looking for are Necramech casings, Necramech engines, Necramech chassis, and Necramech pod. These 4 items are mandatory to build your first Necramech. You can pick up the recipes from Lloyd, and there's a little hidden zone that if you go into operator form, a reactive gold barrier disappears. And you can go there, talk to Lloyd, and buy the Necramech pieces from him for a certain amount of standing. This farm is amazing. It is really efficient at getting Necramechs, and it gets you a lot of Necramech pieces to turn in for reputation. So doing this farm, I think, is the best way to start getting pieces for your reputation and to start farming out the specific Necramech drops that you need to build your Necramech. So right now I'm going to go over what you should be doing in this farm. The idea behind this farm, or at least the idea that I'm using, is I have a map and I've pinned all 7 locations to the map with location pins. You can buy location pins in your clan dojo. You can repeat it infinitely, and they are very cheap, very easy to replicate. And what you want to do is you just want to put down all 7 pins, one where each Necramech spawn is. And then you just run to each pin, check every single one, see if there's a spawn. If there is, get in. If there isn't, just leave. After the Necramech is spawned and you get in it, you just wait for it to break, find some enemies, wait for it to break, and then just head straight to extraction. Right now I'm using Ivara for this farm. I'm using Ivara because Ivara has sleep arrows, so here's a Necramech, just for example. I'm using Ivara because Ivara has sleep arrows, and very frequently you'll come across enemies that are capturable, capture targets. And since you have Ivara, you can just toss out a sleep arrow really quick, hit X, capture the targets, if you find some that you need to capture. Otherwise you're just looking for these Necramechs. The Necramechs have a very long, very annoying 15-20 second get up animation. But after that, you just want to walk around, don't shoot any enemies, just wait for them to kill you. Hopefully they'll kill you pretty quickly, and once they do, you'll get usually a guaranteed drop of the orientation matrix, and then you'll get a very small % chance at a bonus drop for the casing, the engine, the chassis, and the pod. I think that the fastest thing to do is go into your operator when you're hitting the exit and just blink across. It lets you walk right out, turn around, and walk right back in. So right here you see I got a damaged Necramech pod, so I'm already 2 out of 4 for the items that you need here. This run is all shot in one take. This was my first run, I got a chassis. My second run, I got the pod here, when I actually did get an item. And then in the future, right after this, I get in engines. So I do get all of the items that you need. So since I have all the points pinned, what I like to do is I like to go from left to right, or where I guess we're doing from east to west. I come down to the first pin which is a straight line to the second pin. And so I go first pin on the east, second pin in the bottom east corner, and then I just head west across the bottom of the map to check these 4 pins. Whenever I find a Necramech, I just take a little look around, see if there's any hunting targets that I could pick up really quick, and then I get in, and then I just wait for them to kill it. That's pretty much the whole farm. What's important to note about this is hopefully if you're doing this and you have a good bounty level, the enemies will be level 30, so it's a lot easier to die faster. You should be using an Archwing. Just fly around, blink between each one of the spots, and check to see if you get your item. After you're done and the Necramech is destroyed, just blink straight back to the base. You can put a marker down here too if you want, or you can just memorize it. The base is in the top northeast corner, and then you use your operator when you're entering the exit to blink all the way over to the door as fast as you can, and that way you can just turn around and go right back in as fast as you can. The goal behind this run is to be able to find a Necramech, get a part, and get out in less than 2 or 3 minutes. Since this run is so confined on the timing, you're only allowed to do this while the yellow monster is up. I find it best to just do whatever you can to go as fast as possible. So that was the first part that I check. This is the second one that I check, and right here we have a Necramech. And again, waiting for the get up animation is the longest, slowest part of this. It's really annoying. It used to be not invincible, but they actually just patched it today or yesterday to make it so that you are invincible because people were complaining, I guess, that they're getting blown up as soon as they get into Necramech. But I wish they had not patched this because that would have made things so much faster. It used to be a lot faster to do this farm because you would get in the Necramech and by the time you got up, you'd usually be blown up. So the Necramech blows up, I get my part, I blink away from the enemies, I put on the Archwing, and I just start going as fast as I can straight back to the base. When I get back to the base, I go into operator mode, I void dash over to the door, and then I void dash over to the exit door as fast as I can. You automatically go back into your Warframe, you can just turn around, roll back in, and the farm is very fast, 2 to 3 minutes. At this point right here, I'm going to show you my pins, and I'm going to show you my map, and then this way you guys will know where all these locations are. If you have a piece of paper, you can just put it up against your computer screen and just draw a little trace outline of the map and put the dots down. The blue dots on this map are the Necramech spawns, and this one right here is the very first one that I go to. Again, this only works while Foss is active, which is the yellow one, so you want to be doing this run as quickly as possible. And I go down into the east. Check this one first. That mech usually spawns right there, where I was blowing the Ignis. And then I go further down into the east. Here we have another mech. This is a pretty good spawn spot. What you're looking for is just the mech and a bunch of enemies, and that's the best thing you can get. If there are no enemies around, the best thing to do is run straight to the next mech spawn spot. Sometimes it can be kind of hard to find enemies in the open world, so if you run straight to the next spawn spot of a mech, there's usually a guaranteed 4 or 5 enemies if there aren't any. I shoot the ceiling and the walls just to generate some noise and make sure everything's attacking me, and otherwise that's it, you just wait. Wait for the enemies to kill you. So again, it's an easy farm, it's a fast farm, and unfortunately the drop chances are a little low. I'm pretty sure that the chassis and the case have like a 10 or 12% drop chance. Right here I got the engine, so we're at 3 parts out of 4, and this was 10 minutes of farming, so I did get really lucky in these 10 minutes. I already had everything else, I was going for the engine. But hopefully you'll get everything pretty quickly if you follow this guide. Unfortunately, the engine and the pod do only have about a 3% drop chance, so you should be expecting to do this probably around 40 times, I think. Otherwise, once you have all these items, the only thing that you really need to farm is Scintillant, which you can farm from Tier 1 bounties. If you search for Necra in your foundry, it'll still show all the Void Rig items. So right here you see I got that engines. I picked up the capsule a little bit earlier. The casing I got on the very first run. I already had like 8 of those. And I had the Void Rig pod, weapon pod already building. That's it for me today. If you guys like my videos, please give me a like or a subscribe. I am trying to reach 1,000 subscribers. And thank you guys very much for checking it out, and I hope that you guys find this pretty helpful. If not, just enjoy your Diemos and have a good one.